Evening, everyone. So, show you what we got going on in the barn like we talked about this morning. Nice, beautiful sunset behind me. I already came over here and fired up the skid steer. Opened a couple of doors because got to rearrange some things. Now, I know this looks like we're not even close to being ready for the sheep to come in the barn, but we really are. The pens are pretty well set. We put old hay from last year, whatever we kind of had over here in the bottom of the barn. That's good, you know, nothing that got wet or anything like that. We'll take that, we'll put it in there in the pens. Then we do the same thing over here in the creep feed pen, just to make sure that if lambs are in there and they're going pee or poop, it's being absorbed somehow and not gonna cause a mess for us later. And this is all old materials. Where we used to have them stored, we can't store it anymore because we have other things going on with that area. So we are gonna find somewhere to put them in the lean-to for now. Same thing with this fencing. And then the, Gage and his friends have been ramping in here most of the summer and the fall and even into the winter. Because as you can see, it's a nice downhill slope, so you get some good speed. Take a ramp. Worst case scenario, and you can't stop, you run in the hay bales. No big deal. Kind of safe. Moose is going to use this hay feeder though, and Moose is that Jersey bull that we have. We are trying to hold off on cutting him, but we're kind of running out of time. He is a registered Jersey A2 Jersey bull, and nobody needs him, it seems, and so he's just probably going to become part of the food chain. But that needs to come outside because he's out of pasture, because I don't want him sucking up pasture for the sheep right now. And you're right, it would make more sense to go out the feedlot door, but we're gonna go out the other side because the wind is really strong out of the northwest. It's been like 30+ mile an hour sustained all day. So it's pretty brutal out there. As you can tell, I'm bundled up a little more than what I was. It was rough this morning, but it's way worse now. And this morning I was in a hurry, so I didn't have time to change into something else. I just had to get it done. Not a whole lot more you're gonna be able to see with what I've got going on. I'll show it to you all tomorrow or something in the daylight. I think we all know what this means. All that sawdust needs to get spread in here to make the bedding foundation for the sheep. But first we gotta spread some lime. It just helps to keep the surface and stuff clean. And then after we get that done, we're gonna move the hay feeders around, put these bales in them that are right here, and the sheep will be ready to rock, and actually, well, they'll actually be ready to move in. They are moving in a couple days early, and kind of time constraints for us is the biggest reason why. First step, before we put any bedding down, is we take garden lime or ag lime, it's the same stuff, and we put it in here. Hopefully we don't rip the bag before we get it in. And then we spread it around on the floor. Now the purpose of this stuff is it helps to, about spilled it. And the purpose of this stuff is pretty simple. This gets spread around on the floor like that, and it helps to make it a sanitary environment. Again, pretty simple concept. Put it in a little spreader like we did. Take it over the whole floor. Now, you could do more or less than that. You could actually use lime as bedding if you wanted. We just don't because sawdust is cheaper. One other quick little note about that lime. If you buy it ahead of time, make sure you store it somewhere that's climate controlled, that keeps it. It doesn't matter if it's warm or cold, but it does matter that it doesn't get wet.